Hey guys, welcome back to the Neff Lounge. We are still behind the scenes in backstage of Bloodsport, and I am sitting with Simon Grimm, formerly known as Simon Gotch. How you feeling right now, man? You look great.
Let me tell you something. When you go out in that ring and you clang and you bang with a man like Alexander James, and look, my nose is bloody. He did this to me. This man is a savage. But I'm back here. I survived. I won. I'm celebrating with this fine Neff vodka. Cheers to that. Let me tell you something. And you might think I'm just saying this. Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
I have been to Japan. I've been to the red light district of Japan. I have drank in so much alcohol that I had to call my bank at 4 o'clock in the morning, Japan time, and demand they release funds because they did not want the Yakuza to murder me over a $2,000 bar bill.
Wow.
I have been to Spain. I have gone out and partied with people like Bray Wyatt in a nightclub that had a little person dressed up like he was a Baywatch lifeguard. He was dancing too. I had to continually get Mojo Rawley off the stage because he kept dancing on the stage with a little person. And the security guards were all mobsters from Eastern Europe, and they were going to cut fingers off. I did not want that happening to my crew. And I've been here in the fine city of Tampa, Florida, with you, with Neff Vodka. And let me tell you something. I would rather be here drinking this than having to argue with Eastern European bouncers to not get my friends murdered.
You know what? Cheers to that again.
See, that's what I'm saying.
You know, you just told us one thing, that you're a loyal friend.
I am.
And you're willing to do whatever it takes not to have your friends murdered.
Not by Eastern European gangsters, I'm not.
Yeah,
no,
not by Eastern. I mean,
they don't mess around.
They don't. When they murder, it's a different murder out there.
And they don't look for you. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So because I'm going to get to your match and your thoughts and just how it felt, the adrenaline rush. But I just want to know who's in that crew. You said Mojo Rawley. You said Bray Wyatt.
So it's Mojo Rawley, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Let's see, who else did we have? We had Kurt Hawkins. Okay. No, not Kurt Hawkins. I'm sorry. We had Fandango.
Okay.
We had Jason Jordan.
Okay.
There were probably a few others. There were some stragglers. But you see, it's always a night out with Mojo.
Yeah.
Mojo doesn't slow down. That man is a party machine 24/7.
So he's legitly a party.
This man loves me to death because when we were in Spain, he's like, hey, we're all going to go out. And I go, cool. And I went down to the lobby, go back to my room, get changed, go down to the lobby. No one's there. I'm like, okay, I guess we're not going out. Go back to my room, take my pants off, set them right by the bed. Get in the bed, pull up Netflix because it's Spain and there's nothing else to do. I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately, despite how I look. And Mojo calls my room. I don't know how he knew my room number. I never told him, but he calls my room. He goes, yo, you want to go out and party? And I go, give me 5 minutes. I was down in 2 because I literally just had to turn, step into my pants, pull them back up, slide my shoes on and go. And he was enamored. He's like, oh, my God, that was 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'm like, yeah, it's not like a far walk.
Right.
And ever since then, it's like we party. Because that's what he does. He does not stop partying.
He does not. So that's it's not a gimmick.
There is no gimmick to Mojo Rawley. That is Dean Mutati. That man speaks Arabic.
He does. I've read that.
I've heard it. I've heard him shock the living bejesus out of a cab driver in England because the cabbie did not expect that coming out of him.
That's beautiful to hear. That guy, I hear nothing but great things about that guy. So
he's the best.
I'm happy to hear it.
He's like Gronk, but cool. I don't mean that Gronk's not a nice guy. I just think he's a dork. What's he gonna do? Fight me? Cool. I'll be on the front page of the newspaper.
One plays football. The other is a professional wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
We already know which one's the cool one.
Yes, the football player. But I don't care about that.
So, you know what I care about? I care about the hell of a match you just went through and sitting here talking to us right now. Just what are your first thoughts leaving the ring? Bloody nose, little bit shined up, still sweating. What are those first thoughts after that match?
You know what my first thought is? Mm-hmm. I need a drink. I'm not saying this because of where we are or because of this fine vodka spirit that has been placed in my hand. I'm saying that because legitimately, after a match like that, you're beat up, you're wrecked, you're in a bit of pain. And until Florida passes certain laws for recreational use of certain substances, this is your next best bet. So Thanks. What we have here, again, to be placed in my hand by you. You're a generous man, by the way.
Oh, no, you're generous, brother.
I am. Let me tell you, I like to stay in the green when it comes to doing shows. So if I get a free drink, it's always better than a drink I paid for.
Yeah.
But this doesn't taste like a free drink. This tastes like a high-quality beverage.
Yes.
Which is why I appreciated you all the more. Because you could have given me some bargain basement. We probably can't say their names. It rhymes with, clear off because it's clearance brand. or some, whatever. It rhymes with Foley. with some really cheap rot gut vodka. But you gave me this high quality blend, and I appreciate that.
Hey man, thank you. I appreciate you being here. And again, especially after that match. So, what's a mindset going into preparing yourself for a Bloodsport where there's no ropes, there's only knockouts or submissions? Like, how do you prepare for such a match like that?
Well, the way I see it is the more tools you have at your disposal, the more options you have. The more options you have, the more possibilities for you finding a weakness. And the more likely you find a weakness, better chance you have of winning. So you take a guy like Alexander James, I know is a ground-based guy. He can throw hands, don't get me wrong, as my nose will tell you. I'm Jewish. This isn't easy to do. So they're going to have to cut that line, I guarantee you.
Killing me.
But legitimately, my nose does not break. So for him to even get blood from it is actually really impressive. So, but going into a game like that, I know if I focus heavily on just straight grappling, I might lose. If I focus on straight striking, I might lose. But if I focus on training all around, if I have all my skills in check, whatever he does, I have another option. If he goes to grapple, I can hit him. If he tries to grapple, or he tries to hit me, I can grapple. And even then, I tried to chase that double wrist lock, and I was struggling with it. And I realized when I got him, loaded him up with the strikes, hit him with that big suplex, opened the arm up for me. So it wasn't so much that I hit the Kimura, it wasn't so much I hit the double wrist lock, it was that hit him with the strikes to weaken him, hit him with the throw to put him where I need him, and then lock in the hole to make him tap out. See, it's a strategy game, but you got to think 4D chess. You got to have move before move before move before move and know all the possibilities. And if you have a one-sided game, if you're just a striker, if you're just a grappler, if you're just a throw guy, sooner or later you're going to run into somebody who has the defense for that. And you don't want to be in that position because, as you can see, even when you're well prepared, it can be a rough game.
You're legitimately one of the funniest people sitting down having a conversation with. But also, I felt like the runs that you had, your NXT, WWE runs, etc. You're one of the great character actors. Like you're an actor to me, like a thespian in the sense.
So, you may or may not be aware of this. Does the name Howard Fine mean anything to you?
Yes, and why do I know? Is that a coach?
He is an acting coach.
Yes.
Howard Fine is the guy that works with Will Smith.
Yes.
He's the guy that works with Brad Pitt.
Yes.
He's the guy that he works a lot of heavyweights in Hollywood.
Yes.
He also happened to work with somebody by the name of Dusty Rhodes.
Yes.
And when Dusty was running the promo classes in NXT, Dusty actually brought in, on his own dime, mind you, not the company.
Right.
Dusty paid for this out of his own pocket.
Wow.
And this is not cheap. This is $5,000 for a weekend. He brought in Howard to teach an acting course. And then the company actually paid to have one of Howard's proteges come in on the road with us while we were in WWE and do a full month-long class every Monday. And one of Howard's big things was it was all about emotional investment. You can only believe in something as much as the person in front of you believes in it. So, for example, if you see an actor who doesn't believe in the character they're portraying versus someone who does. Like you see a guy like Daniel Day-Lewis. The reason he'll take a year to prepare for a role is he'll tell you straight up. He says it's not because of anything other than it's easier for him to be so deep in the role that he doesn't have to find it again. If he breaks, he's got to find that place again. Some actors can find it right away, and he'll tell you straight up. Like that's the big mistake. People think method actors are all these, Jared Leto, that friggin' putz. Oh, look at me, I'm going to send used condoms to you on the set because I think that's what the Joker would do. Like, no. The whole point of method acting is that it's easier to stay in the mindset of the character than have to come in and out of it because it's draining. It's a draining process. And the general thought that Howard puts forward is find an emotion in you that is a parallel to the emotion your character is supposed to be feeling. So it's not necessarily about acting as much as feeling. In the same way you'll hear a lot of people say it's not acting, it's reacting.
Right. Yeah, listening and reacting.
And some of the funniest stuff you'll ever see, some of the most heartfelt stuff you'll ever see in a movie is legitimate. It's people being so into what they're doing that they lose themselves in the moment. You might recall from the making of Hateful Eight, Kurt Russell destroyed a legitimate $30,000 antique guitar because he was just in the scene, and rather than cutting and putting in the prop guitar, he just went and grabbed it and smashed the thing.
Right.
And of course, he smashed $30,000 guitars. That's me. But my logic is it's don't put a $30,000 guitar on set. That's me. Yeah. But for a lot of people, that's when the best stuff comes up. If you look at even something I actually did with Tom Lawler and MLW. Tom, you might know, is the former UFC fighter.
Yes.
I dropped a line about I was doing elevation training, you know, like that guy, the one who won the Tour de France. What's his name? Lance Bass?
No.
I said Lance Bass. That's what I said to him.
Yeah.
Like that guy, what's his name? Lance Bass. And Tom legitimately started laughing because he didn't know I was going to say that.
Right.
Which he was, I mean, that was the idea, but it felt so natural to hear me just drop that in that he legitimately cracked and started laughing and like, okay, man, whatever you say. So some of the best stuff you're going to come up with is on the fly and is natural because you're so in the moment. I think you'll usually find the guys who are the best talkers are the ones that don't have to plan a whole lot. They don't have to come up with a whole lot of catchphrases. As Dusty would say, it's communication. And in the same way you could have sat down and just fired question after question after question at me. We had a conversation.
Yes.
And that's always going to flow better. That's always going to get a better result because people can invest now in what we're saying because it feels real, because it is, because we're really talking. When I tell people that Neft vodka is delicious, they know I'm not bullshitting because obviously I really enjoy it. You're not even hitting me with cheers.
I'm not. Yeah.
Because this is genuinely tasty.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I used to be a rum guy.
Okay.
So I like a clear liquor. I don't like spiced rum. I like white rum.
Right.
Prior to this, I would have said my favorite liquor that I've ever drinking is a nice aged Tanduay, which is a Filipino rum.
Uh-huh.
But this actually edges it out, which is saying a lot because Tanduay you can't get in the U.S. You got to have that stuff shipped in, and it is delicious. But this is the first vodka I can recall in a long time I could drink straight.
Wow.
That is like the highest compliment you can give to vodka.
Yeah.
Because you know some of this stuff tastes like nail polish remover.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know because it mostly is nail polish with chicken rubbing alcohol. But not with Neff, guys.
Not with Neff, no.
Not with Neff.
Also, how is this not just the coolest? Have you ever seen a cooler just way of giving liquor?
Absolutely not.
No, I mean,
it's a barrel. It's unbreakable barrel for an unbreakable spirit like yourself. Man, it's been a pleasure. It's really been a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for introducing me to this fine vodka spirit, Neff vodka, 750 milliliters, 48% alcohol by volume, which is that's 80 proof. That's solid. You can get that on a plane. Remember that.
Yeah, you can.
You can, which means that if you get, do you guys have the travel size yet?
We do. We actually have mini barrels for traveling.
You see, I learned this because working for WWE, you need to drink a lot. You can actually, as long as you put them in a clear plastic bag, you can bring mini bottles of liquor through security and onto the plane, as long as it's under 80 proof. Because as long as it's not flammable, which is under 80 proof, that means
that's why Moxley actually feels flammable or not.
Yeah, that's.
Guys, we're learning a lot today.
Oh, you don't even want to. After the camera's off, I'll tell you the history of I don't get hyped, I stay hyped. It's going to blow your mind.
All right, guys. So I'm going to cut these cameras off, and I'm going to go learn that right now. Tell us where the fine people can find you at.
Probably lurking behind you in the darkness, often in the worst parts of your nightmares. Also on the Twitter machine at Devious Journey. There's a wordplay joke in there if you actually own a dictionary. Very few people do, so it's hard to get the joke across. Also, I'm still at Gotch Style WWE on Instagram because if you're verified like I am, they won't let you change your name. And the email you're supposed to send them if you want them to change it, they actually will tell you they probably won't see. It says in the description we probably won't see the email.
Do you have somebody on Twitter? Because I'm sure that could get...
Well, I don't have anybody on Instagram. That's the thing. I have someone on...
So this is on Instagram.
On Instagram, it's at Gotch Style WWE, but on Twitter, it's still at Devious Journey.
Instagram is...
But you know what the good thing about Instagram is? You can see all the photos of me bridging, which is nice.
That's great, yeah.
I do bridge.
Strong neck.
Strong neck.
Strong.
I'm trying to get it back. By the way, thank you once again. I greatly appreciate this.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming on again.
Not a problem.
And thank you for, taking a shot at the Neff, man.
Hey, thank you for introducing me.
Yeah, man. Guys, please follow him. Watch all his bridges. Strong neck over here. And we're going to continue drinking some Neff. He finished it, so now I got to refill it. Catch you guys next time.
Want more? Make sure you follow us on Instagram at ths.wrestling.